Previously on the Lineage of Moonreach. We had just entered the Belderock, and there was a giant bell that Tomar just had to ring for some reason. But of course, a giant rock monster comes out, huge spiders come out that we have to fight. It was a shit show. But I got to banish a spider, which was pretty satisfying, and Hirstag was able to befriend the rock monster and get us to safety just in the nick of time before another spider showed up and the rock monster had to fight it. But I gave it a little inspiration before we went, so hopefully we have an ally.
The D20 Syndicate presents The Lineage of Moonreach.
Welcome back to the D20 Syndicate podcast.
How are you?
What?
I'm fine. Thanks.
Good.
Nobody ever asks the DM. They always just say, "What are you?" Never enough. How are you?
You look mostly human.
Surprise. It's 100%. But
All natural.
speaking of being the DM, I am your host and DM, Seth. And around the table we have our players.
I'm Tomas, I play Tomler.
I'm Billy, and I play Willem.
I'm Elijah, and I play Hirstag.
I'm Lindsey, and I play Pinwin.
And I'm Michaela, and I play Gorbel.
And each week we record for your listening pleasure. I may have skipped over this, but we are a D&D actual play podcast, but I'm sure you know that considering the title of our podcast is a D20 actual play podcast. So.
Is that what the title is?
Yep.
We should probably change that.
Yeah. So,
About the podcast that we're doing,
yeah,
this is a D&D podcast.
correct.
Sometimes we don't do that.
Oh, I was thinking about this the other day, yesterday, most specifically, but I feel like we should give a shout out to Emmerich and those two over at the Designs and Dragons, because I don't think we've shouted them out enough. Those guys are way cool. They, they do a ton of shit and make some badass dice, and they made our badass dice for our giveaway, and they were super helpful with, kind of promoting it as well. So I want to give a shout out to Designs and Dragons. Check them out on Instagram because they're fucking cool and they deserve all of your patronage.
Also, shout out to Dan's baby, because that's fun.
Yeah.
I mean, not all of your patronage. We deserve some of your
done
patronage.
for our podcast lately.
I thought that when the baby was born, he'd stop, doing the Patreon. Because he has a baby.
Well, I mean, he also has a job still, so I'm assuming he listens
but I don't know.
at some point.
I keep thinking, his wife doesn't know about it or something, and she's going to be like, we have a baby now, and you're just giving money to a podcast?
Well, some people play the podcast for babies, like the Austin guy that follows us somewhere.
I bet
Someone
we'd be
plays
great
our
for babies.
podcast for babies?
Yeah.
That's a bad idea.
Why?
Does it
Babies don't know what words
Because,
mean.
babies are cunts.
The baby always smiles when Pinwin is talking.
Really? I didn't know that.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What?
Wait, is that a review somewhere?
Why didn't you
That's-
tell me
It's not a
this?
review. It was just
Oh.
a comment on one of our episodes.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
And this guy already gave us a review. So I
that
read his
guy.
review.
Okay. That we
found
found.
that guy.
You found the review embedded somewhere that we didn't know we could get reviews or something.
Yeah.
Just in a review crevasse.
It was in a message in a bottle that he found in the river.
Oh shit! Somebody likes Pinwin's voice.
is
He just
from
whispers at the bottle to the D20 Syndicate, and then he hucks it, and then somehow it travels to us.
And he lives in France.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Yeah, thank you to all of our patrons. You guys
Yeah.
are dope. You're helping keep the lights on here.
And I guess
We're desperate
thank
in need
you
of
to
utilities.
all of the babies.
Yeah.
I'll totally
Yeah, thank
let
you,
my
babies.
baby listen to this shit.
So I wonder if all babies think, if their favorite character is Pinwin.
We should take a survey of all babies.
Yeah.
Babies, we want to hear your voice.
all the babies hate Willem. For some reason. He's mean.
That throat slit thing, that was not very goo goo gaga.
Disapprove. Unfollow.
Technically, I stabbed him in the throat. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, it's
Less of a
really-
slit, more of a poke. Anyway.
All right, so shall we get to the around the campfire question?
Yes.
Crackly, crackly, crackly. All right, so
Are we doing crack?
submitted for your approval of the D20 Syndicate.
Society.
The D20 Syndicate Society.
We're a syndicate and a society.
The D20 Syndicate Society's enclave.
The D20 Democracy.
All right, let's do the around the campfire question. Ow, ow. All right, this week's around the campfire question is, tell me in character about a very special or memorable moment, or just a memory that you have about one of your character's parents. It could be a bad memory. It can be a good memory. It can be an indifferent one that just stuck with you, like we all have. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with Gorbel.
Well, I'm not going to include the memory about my mom dying.
That was a good one.
Although that's probably the most memorable.
I'll never forget it.
One of my favorite things that I would do with my mom was watching her get ready for work, because she would always get really dolled up and do her makeup and her hair, and it was this whole process. It was very fun to watch. And once she was gone and I started living with Tomar and his family, not saying Gorm went to that extreme, but it was fun to watch him go through the process of putting on his rings,
his makeup,
and just putting that care into how he presented himself, braiding his beard. It was nice.
Very nice. That was a nice memory. Willem.
My favorite memory would have to be of Lewin and I's mother teaching Lewin how to ride horses and teaching us how to care for the horses. Learned a lot, and it kind of became our thing. And we had a little unit, and it always brought a smile to my face.
Very nice. Pinwin.
Well, I have a whole lot of favorite memories of my parents, but I guess I feel like there was something that they always seemed to do. My mom was kind of stressed out sometimes. I mean, a lot of the times. She was running a tavern and an inn together, and it was a stressful thing. And she'd be, like, stress washing the dishes or something, and my dad is always just this upbeat, goofy guy, and he'd come over, and he'd just, like, butt bump her, and then they'd just start dancing together, and it was always really sweet how Dad always kind of helped her feel less stressed, and I don't know, they brought out the best in each other. It was sweet.
Very nice. Tomar.
Well, I kind of always remembered my dad a little stern, a little bit ornery, except when my mom was around. He would just lighten up whenever she was around, and she'd be gone quite a bit because she'd be on some like holy quest of some kind. But when she'd come back, she was very serious, like very pragmatic. But then he would do stuff like he'd like dance with her, like in the middle of the kitchen, and he'd start singing songs at her, and she always like kind of protested at first. But then she would just like let him dance with her, and then she'd like start to blush and stuff. And they always seemed so happy whenever they were together. That's what really stuck with me.
Very nice. And Hirstag. Are you gonna sing?
Mm-hmm. La la la.
I prepared a song.
Well, one memory that really sticks out. Well. So I never knew my real parents. So this memory will involve my satyr dad. But one night when I was a young little dwarf growing up in the forest, my dad woke me up. And I don't know, I there was like something... He was trying to, have fun with me, I guess. But I could tell he was upset behind that. He was putting up a front, I guess. I could tell something was wrong, but he didn't talk about it. But that night, it was the first time I ever went to the Feywild. He took me on a walk, and we found a portal and just kind of walked in. It was daytime in the Feywild, which was really, really neat.
Daywild.
Yeah. And we just kind of walked around and, checked out the flora and it was a really sweet moment. And we just came back and we went to sleep.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Man, I wonder what his real intention was of just taking you there in the middle of the night.
It was like an Isaac situation where he was like, I have to go and sacrifice my son.
And
then he had second thoughts.
He was going to get rid of the body of the Feywild like he was holding a stone.
No, I imagine him with a bow and arrow, drone all the way back.
Tears down his eyes.
Go
Just look at the flowers. Look at the flowers.
Look at the flowers, Hirstag.
Oh, yeah, I guess those are pretty.
Still had the same. Oh yeah.
Even though he's 7, he's still got that just oh yeah, they're really fucking beautiful.
Smoking his pipe with his beard.
Fucking
Wow, that'd be
of
nuts.
mice and men.
Cog was just
Lenny situation where he's just oh, I don't want to do it.
All right. So, as we learned in the recap, those of you who are first-time listeners for whatever reason, you have arrived in front of this massive bridge, this beautiful bridge, just on the other side of the Belderock, and it leads into a tunnel, which the inscription over the tunnel is kind of inviting and says, "Those who enter are under the protection of Wyr Karag." Along the bridge's kind of sides are various totems depicting different clans and gods as well, ancient gods that's names have been lost. And as I mentioned before, the premier totem that kind of sticks out is one depicting the symbol of Wyr Karag.
Was I able to see an Ironfist totem?
So yeah, as you guys kind of climb up the stairs and cross this bridge over this very deep...
I don't want to cross yet.
We started.
You don't want to cross yet?
We didn't start going over it yet.
I'll get to that. Go ahead. So you guys are standing in front of this bridge.
So I'm hurt pretty bad from that fall.
Oh yeah.
I forgot to teleport, and that was dumb.
Oh, you mean midair?
Yep.
That would have been good.
I wasn't using my brain there. You
Are
guys
you asking for some help?
help, or maybe we can take a little rest here. Use hit dice that we've never used before.
You want to just sit here for 8 hours?
No, short rest. So maybe we want to.
All right. If
Just
you
hang
want
out
to,
here
if
for
you
a
want to
little
hang
bit.
back and rest, I'm gonna look at some of these totems while you do that.
But not you're not going out of sight, are you?
They're right there, Gorbel.
I don't know how far you're gonna go.
I'm gonna go look at them.
Be
There is a
careful.
lot
Maybe
to look at.
they do stuff. I need to look.
I go with Tomar.
It's pretty wild.
So you guys step
Yeah,
up
me
on
too.
the... Okay, so you three step up on the stairs and start examining the totems. And right away, basically on the opposing side of the Wyr Karag totem, you see Clan Ironfist's totem. And in it are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of names kind of inscribed anciently.
Quite anciently.
Ancient names. It's been a very long time since anyone has added a name to that. Probably 1,500 years since the last time. But yeah,
Did
you
they
can
chisel it in?
Yeah, they chiseled it in, very very carefully too. It wasn't something that was done kind of haphazardly. When someone died, they inscribed their name in their line.
I'm gonna go up to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably out past the bridge, right?
No, it's right at the beginning of the bridge.
So I could just walk up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna walk up to it, and I want to see who the last person's name on there was.
Okay.
It just says Duty was here.
The last name on the list is Griselda Ironfist.
Do I know anything about her?
You know that she was the wife of the last king that ever existed. Your namesake, Tomar Ironfist, called the Beloved by his people. The very last king before what happened in Wyr Karag. And she was in the Dwarven Reckoning, which is you guys' way of, naming years. She died in the year 4,000 559.
And did I know that stuff? This is common knowledge?
Yes.
Cool.
You would have been told pretty extensive information about your name.
Was there like a hired scribe that would chisel these, or would they do it themselves?
That you don't know for sure, but it because of the care that was done, it was probably likely that the people who were left behind would chisel their name in there.
It was chiseled in papyrus. This is dope.
I hold up a dagger. You think we should add your name here?
As cool as that would be, I feel like I haven't earned my name being on here yet.
Also, he said that it was the dead people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But,
Break the cycle.
there is a dead person that
You're a dead person.
you know.
Elvis.
Elvis Ironfist. Yep.
Elvis Iron Bottom.
I don't want to tarnish this.
That's fair.
I'm assuming there was probably a specialist that did that. But
He lied.
yeah, I'm just gonna... Do they have like a sigil or anything on each one, or is it just their name? Or...
So at the top is a large emblazoned or like carved out symbol of each of the clans. So you can, as you look, you can easily see some of the other clan names. There's Rune Cloak, of course. There's Sapphire Granite, Bright Sunder, Stormhide. You even see a Copper Bell one far off in the distance.
Weird.
Wonder if those were the cunts that made the bell.
Hazel's a copper bell.
Interesting. Definitely rang her copper bell.
Just once, though. Just the one time.
The seed is
You rolled a
strong
20
with that one.
on that one.
Yeah.
Roll to impregnate.
Oh, shit.
You broke her womb.
You Superman shotgun blasted her womb.
I'm going to tell Pinwin
Okay.
what the totems are
Okay.
and some of the more prominent dwarven families.
Okay.
There aren't a lot of songs about dwarves because, well, nobody was around dwarves to write songs, really.
Really?
My dad made some up. He was also a bard.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
He had a really, really nice baritone voice. But he didn't sing much in front of me, only around my mom. But these are the important clans.
That's weird. He used to sing to me all the time.
Wow.
Maybe he thought it was like, you're not there, shut up.
Wait, you guys are all connected mentally.
Still?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It lasts an hour.
Oh, that's the downside.
Oh, wait, no, it would have just
That's,
faded then. That link would have faded.
I got that one dig in as it faded away.
Mic drop.
But then,
He loved me more than you.
so yeah, maybe you can write about us coming here because no one else is coming here.
I can't believe no one else would have made songs about this. This is amazing.
Well, this place is dangerous and nobody's been in here. Like, you found the back way in. We may never have made it here if it weren't for you and Mandorin.
Hope you've been taking notes, kiddo. You got a lot of songs to write.
Oh yeah. No, I have a whole list. Don't worry. It'll be made. It's on my list.
What is the list written on?
Papyrus.
Notebook in my backpack.
Snot reg.
Just napkins from the coffee shop.
What's Demon Bobby? I got smudged.
Bobby.
There was a Demon Bobby. There was a Demon Bobby.
That'd be pretty fun. I'd listen to it.
I'm going to look at the entrance to the next area.
Okay. The arched frame of the tunnel leading in is roughly about 100 feet. It's pretty large, and it was obviously this area was a well-trafficked area between the two, between the Belderock and Wyr Karag. So
It'd suck to go all the way down the bridge and then realize you forgot your notebook in the other part of the city. And had to run
The lever
back.
to open that door is on the other side of the bridge.
Shit!
Fuck, so many random encounters on the
but
way back.
you can see various runes kind of peppering, carved in, chiseled into the arch around the entrance to that massive dark hallway that connects the two, and you can see that each one is a runic symbol representing all of the clans. Every clan that you could possibly have remembered, it seems they're all represented there. This was a very important project that was done.
So it's just an open doorway?
Yes, leading into a massive, massive cavernous hallway.
Do you think
How far away are you?
the other side of the bridge?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I walked over.
So like 400 feet.
What did you ask, Willem?
Do you think the Soul Forge is on the other side of this door?
Doorway? Hallway?
Yeah. Sorry, archway.
I mean, if the arch is to be believed, then yeah. I mean, this place looks very ceremonial, you know? Like,
It does.
the kind of place you would walk down to remember all the souls tied to the forge.
So I'm looking at all the ruins and I'm like, none of this is making any sense to me. Are there any like warnings or anything? Is there anything indicating?
I think of it kind of like a memorial. These runes are all clans that once dwelled here.
Oh, they're all names?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they might be remembering all the souls tied to the forge.
And like about 2 feet or about 20 feet above you, you can see it's starting to curve, but you can see the Ironfist emblem there, the little rune representing that.
Right in the middle.
But it's easy for you to pick out, and it's kind of nice seeing your family's clan, your clan represented up there.
And I ask him, which one's your guys's?
That one. It matches the pillar that I was fucking around with over there.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's his clanemy.
Are we able to discern if there's any magical quality to the runes in this archway specifically?
Give me an Arcana check.
I will join him in that.
21.
19?
That's a 20. Sorry, lies.
One might be able to describe it as kind of like old magic. There's many stories that etching into stone with the runes was in dwarven tradition a way of kind of their own sort of magic, and many times to protect. They did it into their buildings, on their weapons and items, and kind of like a way of protecting the person that it belongs to.
Just kind of a warding.
Yeah, in a sense. So
Did Gilamichael
Sorry.
Did Gilamichael ever write anything in his documents he gave me about the dwarves and Chalcedony or anything like that?
So what he wrote was that at one point, not so much about the dwarves themselves, but at one point, Chalcedony, after the Lich was defeated, Chalcedony seemed to abandon their cause suddenly and left, and many believed that she was trying to find Wyr Karag and find their home.
What was her family name?
Give me one sec. I should have had that out.
Fur. Chalcedony Fur.
Her family name was Rockscythe, and you can see Rockscythe just a few feet down from where yours was on the left-hand side of the kind of arch.
Would I know if dwarven names were ever stricken from the arch?
Yes,
Like if they
you can actually see that on. That was something I was going to point out. You can see where some clans that either were wiped out or abandoned had a strike through them, and in fact, one of the most prominent ones, and you saw this on the pillars coming in, is the Stormhide clan has just a chisel across it as if to exit out.
Did they do something bad? Did they become Duergar? Did they abandon?
So Thrakek Stormhide was one of the kings, and he was the king. He was the one that was called the Wicked because he doomed the dwarves. He opened the deep roads when it was considered forbidden, and he started the War of the Dark Place that ended up lasting like 500 years. And so his family was, once the war was over, he was killed during that war, but his family was made to leave. And there are some others as well, but that's the most prominent one that you would know about.
These ones were banished. You can see them crossed out a little bit.
So it's not just you specifically, it's kind of your guys' thing about holding grudges.
Well, I mean, when a dwarf dishonors their people, like their whole people, then I mean it's
Dishonor on your family, dishonor on your hammer.
they wipe your name from existence, really, because
That's rough.
and dwarves with renown, when they get married, they carry on their clan name. Like, if there's two families and man or woman, whoever has the most renown as a family that brings the most honor to the dwarves, their name passes on instead. And they're brought into the clan. So these ones here were like the most important ones that weren't absorbed.
So if you and Gorbel ever made it legal,
Made it legal.
would she be taking yours or you taking hers?
She would probably be an Ironfist then.
You just saying that?
I don't know what the Copperbells ever did. Like, I don't know of any heroes really or anything.
Ooh. Well, now they sired Ironfist lineage. So, is that noteworthy?
They haven't even had a proper birthing ceremony. Like, and I feel weird.
What does that mean?
I feel weird now because they're older, but they're supposed to be marked.
Like branded?
I show him a mark on my chest. Like, I open up my armor a little bit. There's
I kind of shield him away from the others.
there's like a symbol of
I'm just
a hammer.
like,
There's a symbol of a hammer burned in. Like, they mark us when we're young as
you're-
followers.
So you're like horses.
Sure, if that's how you want to take it.
does
I'm
that
just kidding. Can
hurt, though?
Yeah, did they actually do it with like?
It hurt.
I mean, I was a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it probably hurt,
Oh,
but they have healers and stuff. My mom was a healer.
I guess.
Like,
Quick question. Hirstag and Gorbel, what are you guys doing right now?
So
You don't have to stay on the side of the bridge if you don't want to. You can come along. You're just rest is you're not doing anything really, like strenuous.
So anyway, that was the second time I got a bowl cut. And the last.
Okay. I still don't know what that haircut is. Like, what is that? What does that look like?
Did you have horns?
I mean, like, imagine you take like a kind of large bowl, maybe like punch bowl size, put it over my head, and just trim along the edge. Can you see it?
So you're like, so it's actual bowl shape
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah.
I feel like that'd look really stupid.
I mean, yeah, it did. The second time it definitely did.
And well, how old were you then?
That was last week.
This was like a few years ago. Granted, at this time I did not have the bone structure to really pull it off.
Right.
because some people do.
Yeah, you gotta have that.
Phoebe Cates.
That bone structure for bowl cuts.
But
Bone
I'm just
structure.
saying, like, maybe there's a haircut that you might like to try out. It's fun.
I'll think about it. Do you know how to cut hair?
Oh, yeah.
She knows how to do a bowl cut.
I mean, like not just putting a bowl on my head and cutting around it.
Oh, then no.
Oh, okay. I'll think about talking to somebody.
What do you think I should do with my hair?
What length is Zyko's hair?
It's like up and curly and kind of froey in a sense. And
Now, I think you might actually look good with a bowl.
yeah.
I'm thinking
I think
more
he's got the bone structure.
bone structure, yes, but hair texture, maybe not. It doesn't really go in a downward direction.
But really, Zyko, I think that, any haircut's gonna look good on you.
You think so?
I think more than a haircut, maybe like a hair accessory, like a headband, maybe a head wrap.
I used to wear a headband. It made me really popular in the village.
I imagine you looked fantastic in it.
What village? Where are you from anyway?
You're not,
You're not
here.
there.
I thought you said they were going to be walking.
No, he said we could.
We didn't
Well, nobody
say we
clarified
did.
either way.
We were engaged in serious conversation.
Sorry, I was like curious about Zyko's upbringing.
Well, maybe you should have asked these questions before, Tomas.
It's pronounced Tomar.
You want like some
I'm chiding him
flowers
out
or
of character.
leaves in your hair or anything?
Yeah. Could you do that?
Yeah, sure. Which one?
You pick.
Which hair?
I'll just use some. I'll just use some of both.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll Druid craft some flowers and leaves.
In like the shape of a headband.
Flower
yeah,
crown.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this green magical energy goes to Zyko's forehead, and then all these leaves and flowers form into a headband, kind of pushing his hair back. How's he look?
That actually looks amazing.
Really?
Yeah. I pull out my pocket mirror.
I look older, more handsome.
Yep.
Very distinguished.
Really natural. Yeah, it's a druid thing. We're all really good at that. We like making flower crowns and
Could you teach me some
like
stuff?
that. Yeah, sure. Probably once we get out of here, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, look at Tomar down there. What do you think he's saying?
And I'm gesturing up at the art.
Okay, let me guess.
So anyway, these are all the dwarves that I love and talk about all the time.
Wow, that sounds
Right.
just like him.
No.
It was good.
No, you go, Zyko.
Here, I farted. Let me dismiss the fart. He's because he's waving his hand around, and he's always farting.
Does he fart a lot?
Yeah,
I hadn't noticed.
you
He
go,
always
Hirstag.
blames it on me.
You go, Hirstag. What's he saying?
Well, I imagine he's probably saying exactly what Gorbel said. Yeah, about dwarves and all that.
Yep.
So,
Zyko's just gonna look at Gorbel. Yeah.
I mean, maybe he did fart.
Zyko seems to find this super funny. He's like laughing so hard he's crying.
Yeah. Absolutely possible. Yeah.
I'm just imagining by the time they get down to us, Zyko's gonna be like the girl at the end of Midsummer, just completely clothed in like flower shit.
Well, should we make our way over there and see what they're doing?
Yes.
Making our way across the bridge.
I'm gonna roll for my healing.
You didn't do that yet? The hell?
Did you hear any dice rolls?
I mean, that was like 20 minutes ago.
All right, so you guys can.
Did
You guys
anyone
start.
else take any damage? Or is anyone else doing any?
No,
No.
no,
Nobody else
you're the
jumped off
only one who jumped
a
off
cliff.
and got your ass beat.
Yeah.
Says they're walking up,
You can
I'm
just
going to
take the
say,
average.
so these are all the families that I love and I talk about so much. Whoops, I farted. Sorry.
I nudge Zyko.
What the hell's on your head?
Wow, Zyko, nice hair.
Thank you.
What? What is that? Why are you wearing that?
It's a hair accessory.
It's called an accessory, and he looks fantastic. So, give a compliment where a compliment is due.
It's
Zyko looks at you
fantastic.
expectantly. Do you think it looks good?
Honestly,
He'd like it better if it were made of rocks. Let's face it.
Zyko, you handsome devil, you're gonna strike fear into the hearts of our enemies.
I was going to say,
He smiles really big.
honestly, I think it looks pretty good.
Oh, thanks, Tomar. Pinwin,
I told you it looks fantastic.
Oh.
That is great.
thank you.
I leaned in to
Hirstag
sniff
did
one
it.
of them.
You should throw a pine cone in the middle or something.
Hirstag, can you make a pine cone?
I'm on the other side of the bridge.
Hirstag, can you make a pine cone?
What is he doing over there?
Healing?
Let's pretend what Hirstag's probably saying. That'd be a fun game.
Well, I jumped off the cliff again.
Ouch, my feet hurt. I better take a rest because I jumped off of an altar. Oh, ho,
We're
ho.
about to do some really cool stuff, so I better sleep.
I like plants. My friend is a tree.
Well, I'm Hirstag, and I'm just sitting here. Don't mind me.
That's pretty good, Pinwin.
Thanks.
I think he farted.
I
He
think I
starts
saw
laughing
his
again.
cloak billow a little bit at the bottom. Must have been a big one.
Zyko is like silent crying with tears rolling down his cheeks.
We have fun. But seriously, in here, they might get pretty dicey. So. I'm down for having a nice laugh before our
Yeah, guys.
potentially imminent demise.
What do you
Make sure
think the
all
rock
your-
monster is doing right now?
Probably getting his ass beat. That was a big ass spider.
That was
I just
gross.
wish that we could make him small and take him with us. Wouldn't that be nice?
Wouldn't that be like a
Until when
horrible
he got
existence?
big.
Like,
use my shrink ray.
he's just permanently small, and he's like, "Oh man."
A pebble monster.
Oh, that'd be so cute. Add that to my list.
Just little Indian in the cupboard action.
He's still like tough guy flexing, but he's just tiny.
Just
Hey.
fighting normal sized spiders.
and still getting his ass beat.
Like Roomba, but now in this time frame.
All right, so Hirstag, are you at full health now?
Yep.
Cool. Do you now walk across the bridge?
I do.
Okay. You can see them kind of laughing a little bit as you guys...
Here he comes.
Stop talking about him.
I'm just
Stop
sniffing
and-
the flowers on Zyko's head.
Stop and kind of look over the statues as I. Wow, that's neat.
Hirstag, where's your clan?
Well.
No?
What?
Nothing. Never mind. Sorry.
He said, "Where's your can?"
Do you have any cans? I want to can some goods.
Nope.
Okay, that's cool, man.
We'll take a look in town next time we get to town. We'll get you some cans, buddy.
That sounds good. Have I ever told you I like the way you smell?
No.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
I wish you would have came over here with us, because I could have told you what all this was. It probably would have been way more pertinent to you to know.
I feel like he can probably figure it out.
How would you know? You weren't here either.
We were having a really important
I
conversation.
feel like I already kind of know what you were saying.
Okay, bowl cut.
You know what?
History by
You know,
osmosis.
The
the
first
sound
time
of
it
this
looked
bridge,
good.
it carries all the sound. We can hear everything. We can hear all that.
Maybe we're making Craig laugh.
You know what, Tomar? At least I took a chance.
It was bad.
Yeah, well,
You didn't tell them how it was like you had food in your hair and you couldn't get it out, and that's why you had to get the bowl cut.
That was the second time, not the first time. The first time it looked good.
I mean, you were like 5 years old. Everybody looks cute with a bowl cut then. But when you were like 16,
I at least take chances with my look, is what I'm saying. And maybe you should try.
I look good.
Yeah, you've had the same haircut for the past 15 years.
I start gathering Tomar's hair like back into like form a ponytail. Like, yeah, man.
he
Like,
doesn't
maybe we
have
could-
hair.
No hair?
No, I've had hair growing back.
Yeah, remember he was bald for a little bit?
What does it look like now? Is it like just random tufts puffing up and then part bald, or?
That's not how people's hair grow.
Dude,
I've never seen someone super bald decide to grow their hair.
It's just hair, man. It's just
Oh, come
it's
on.
not long. It's just like a regular shorter cut right now.
And I'm gathering it up to form some semblance of a ponytail to make a stupid joke.
I bet your end goal is the same hairstyle you've had your entire life.
I like my braid. It matches my beard braids.
Jazz it up a little. Try something new.
These totems, are any of them depictions of actual dwarves themselves?
No.
No.
These are...
It's just
So
carvings
we
with
can't
runes
get
and
any
shit.
hair inspiration from
Okay.
them.
No.
Fuck. Okay.
What do you guys want to do?
Do you think that the family that I came from is one of these totems?
Do you know what their name was?
Nope.
How the hell would I
Then
know
it's
the answer to
probably that
instead?
one. And I just point to a random one on the right.
That's
what
the
one
one.
does that say?
Do you not have any magical ability to find out anything about your family or anything?
Never
Or
thought. Well,
did you ever
never thought of
ask anyone? Or
Well, I guess I could talk to Leithandria about it, see if maybe she knows something. No, I never thought to ask. Maybe I actually have a clan name.
I mean,
Do any of the-
most do.
Sorry.
What, Willem? What is it?
No,
We're
I
gonna
was-
say something
Out
shitty.
of character. Out
Oh.
of character. I was just gonna ask. Do any of the runes look tree-like?
Well,
I
that,
know. I
okay.
know. I know. I know.
So you
Then
say,
why?
It was an impulse question.
That's probably why he stopped himself.
I see.
So you say hill dwarves come from here too, right?
All dwarves came from here.
All dwarves came from right here.
The template from which all of you were wrought.
And how did we come to be?
I've told you this, haven't I?
Just like diamonds, you're just
I-
compound
maybe.
rocks.
There's a lot to take
Eventually-
in. I've been learning a whole bunch of stuff.
Agriman used the fires of the Soul Forge to create the first dwarves out of stone and metal,
Right.
and then he breathed life into them, and they became the dwarves.
That's cool.
Strong ass weed.
We are made of stone
We're not made of stone.
and metal.
We were. That was just the materials he used to make us. But
Kind of like our pal Pinwin here is sugar, spice, and everything nice.
It's magic, guys. It's not that confusing.
It's magic. You don't gotta.
This isn't a regular forge. Like it.
Willem's pulling out the periodic table and looking at it.
When we were gifted the Bloody Brawlers gear, for example, like the ghosts were like to receive an item, you must give something in return. That's sort of how the Soul Forge was said to have worked. You would offer something, and then you would have something in mind that you
Like
would
a
want.
sacrifice?
Like transmutation.
No.
Oh,
No,
so it
not like a
takes
sacrifice.
it takes material and
get
changes it into something else.
And that's the idea of forging in the first place.
Right.
Like you take metal, you shape it, and you create something. But this is on a much crazier magical scale.
That's
But I don't know. For
That's
all I know, it's just a regular forge, and nothing is going to explode. And
What was the creator's name again?
Agriman Hammerhand.
Agriman? You could say he was a full rock, metal alchemist.
I liked it.
We all blankly stare at him.
And he drinks his coffee. Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it.
I toss him off of the bridge.
I just unmoving, just like a missile straight down.
like the diving. You ever see the diving competition that they do in like whatever? I forget what it is. And the one guy just jumps off the high dive and he's like holding that pose the whole time.
Like the hero pose.
I just picture when they throw those like ragdoll bodies like on TV shows. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are standing at the entrance to the hallway.
Any other questions before we go in?
Does everybody have their wills updated?
Hirstag, how are you feeling?
I'm doing
Up to
great.
snuff?
Doing great now. Yep.
Okay.
I'm down a few spells, but
What?
down a few spells.
Do you lose
Like,
them?
are you tired or?
No, I just when I used up some of my energy, my reserves.
So you're tired. Okay.
Just no.
You're-
I'm fine.
He's not a
I'm fine.
machine, Gorbel.
I'm
He
just
has to
saying-
rest.
I get that.
know
It was
how-
just a weird way of phrasing it.
You know how,
He has a headache, not tonight.
you know how you run out of spells sometimes.
I
Yeah.
know that sometimes I get too worn out to cast a spell.
Yeah, that's
I've
what
never phrased it quite like that though.
That's what I meant. Well, it's a druid thing, It works a little bit different with me.
God, sometimes the cultural difference is just so apparent.
Yeah, Hirstag's got his own
keep it open.
vernacular.
What's weird
Yeah,
is how
keep an open
close he
mind,
was.
Gorbel.
Like, he lived very close to us, and they're all weird with their spells and stuff.
I know, two different worlds.
It's a different world.
I've never heard that one, Willem.
Pinwin taught it to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
You been singing at him?
Maybe.
I haven't heard you sing in a long time.
I sing every once
Yeah,
in a
it's
while.
when you-
We've just been a little busy.
I've
It's
never
when you
heard
left us
sing.
to climb the mountain by ourselves.
Oh, yeah. If you give me a lot of time on a trip somewhere, I'll be singing.
We should take a trip after this.
Yeah. I'll sing the whole
Go
trip.
on a little vacation.
I mean, this is kind of a trip in itself, isn't it?
Does that mean you want me to sing?
Maybe not right now.
Okay.
Maybe right now we should
Do you?
The mood, right?
proceed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know any rousing sort of war tunes?
I'm just like, oh,
Like, or like that fish in Finding Nemo.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was saying.
Man, I am on Finding Nemo today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
What?
before we enter,
I
Just
gotta,
give me a
I gotta
minute here.
take a nap for 18 hours.
and I reach my hand out, and it's really awkward because it takes a minute to cast.
So for
So
a
I'm
minute,
standing there
What's it going
looking
with?
at Tomar right in the eyes. My eyes are glowing green, like waves of
I'm looking
energy
him
are
up and
pulsing
down.
off of me.
yeah, it's just a super intense magical like energy like leaping off of him as he's staring you right in the
Am I
eyes.
supposed to move? Is he gonna kill me?
You guys gonna fight?
I don't know.
Is he mad?
I can't tell.
Did you say? Did he know you talked about the farting thing?
This doesn't sound good.
He says preemptively.
And I cast Foresight on you.
Oh.
Yeah, you've had that happen once before.
This wasn't as intense. I mean, it
Yeah.
wasn't as intense before.
Yeah, I did it when I was standing behind you last time. You didn't see me, but I was
Oh,
like,
you were just
it's pretty
following me
intense.
doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, shit.
That's what it looks like. It's pretty crazy.
So, what happened?
What does it do again, Hurst?
It allows you a little bit of a glimpse into the immediate future. You're a few seconds ahead.
Mechanically, it's like you get advantage on
Advantage
Dex.
on all ability checks, saving throws. Oops.
Willem's gonna sneeze. I'm not gonna.
I slap him preemptively.
Okay.
My face explodes.
I feel like the last time that happened, you did say something like that.
Really?
For the next 8 hours, you can't be surprised. You have advantage on attack rolls.
So you guys better like readjust his birthday party. He just walks in, shaking his head. Seen it.
You have advantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. Additionally, other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against you for 8 hours.
Nice.
All right. So now you are feeling very precog in a sense. You just feel like you have a heightened awareness, almost as if you can't be snuck up on. You can't be, nothing's gonna take you, out of the blue.
Ain't nothing gonna break your stride.
Demigod.
I feel cool.
I feel cool. Sorry.
Everybody.
I wish I had a reason to cast it on myself sometime. I haven't even experienced it yet.
I mean, can you do it multiple times?
Nope.
Oh.
That is my max level of power that I can bestow.
Well, everyone else, be careful. We don't know what's in here. I mean, I will slightly before you guys.
So what you're
can-
saying is you should go first into
Yeah,
the
I'll
spooky
definitely
warn
go
us?
first. Yep, I'll totally let you know if I get the Peter tingle.
Is he thinking fast enough to warn us, or only just like 2 seconds ahead? Where it's
it's like an immediate response, basically.
So
So
we're
we
gonna
can't
we're
warn
gonna
him.
use the rule of the highway, 3-second rule, right? We're gonna just stay behind him enough.
Does anyone else have anything they want to get prepared?
I grab Hirstag by the shoulders and I just kind of subtly start shaking him and going,
Give me your blessing. Thank you so much,
and then I slap him in the forehead.
Oh wait, I know what I could do.
Do I have foresight now,
Wow.
You don't have foresight. You actually have diminished reaction time now.
too? What is that?
It means you are the coolest of us all.
I don't feel any different.
And I just kind of hug him.
And Psycho goes, "That's so cool."
I just kind of hug him, and then I turn away.
I appreciate that.
Does anyone want to do anything real that might help them?
What are you talking about?
I'll start kissing my hand and kissing and slapping people. I'll give you all bardic inspiration.
How many?
How many are there of us?
11 bardic inspiration.
I'll give Hirstag some. I'll give Tomas some. I'll give Willem some. I'll give Gorbel some.
Are you playing any music?
And for bardic inspiration, I go,
Oh.
I'm going to slap people because it's fast. Thanks,
What
Pinwin.
is your
Welcome.
bardic inspiration
And-
dice?
Psycho, right?
I think it's a D6.
I think it's more than
It
that.
goes up as you level up.
Yeah, but I think Gorbel has the D8.
1d10.
Oh shit!
She
Oh,
probably has
D10
like
too.
So she's probably got
Fuck.
12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a D12 now.
What?
Yeah.
You're a D10?
Yeah.
Would that
Like
that wouldn't
mantle
stack, would it?
inspiration?
If we got 2 bardic inspirations from 2
Yeah,
different
you can
sources.
stack it.
For real?
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Not on one roll.
Why
But
would
yeah,
I
you
do
could
that?
you could
You can
have,
have two.
but it could be like
lined
sitting
up.
there for whenever you need it, basically.
So I could choose. I'm going to use the D10 on this one. I'm going to use
I'm
the D12 on this one.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, so you guys are staring at this big tunnel, 100 feet across, about 30 feet up.
Did they both give everyone inspiration?
No, just
I did
Pinwin.
not give anybody inspiration.
Okay.
It only lasts for 10 minutes. I'm saving it.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Good call. Just remember, you guys.
So mine
So
will only
who
last
all
10 minutes,
Who all
and then
got
they
it?
don't get it anymore.
Everybody, didn't we?
Because if Zyko's
Zyko
there,
did not get
Yeah,
it.
he did.
2, 3, 4.
Oh.
He was one of them.
You
Okay.
had 5
Yep.
uses.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Okay.
Nobody be mad and say I should have used this before we went down the hallway. Here we go.
All right. So you guys head down the hallway, and the first thing that you notice, Tomar, because you were in the front, is you can see those telltale scorches that you saw in the Belderock along the walls. This once beautiful hallway has tons of scorches in it and almost like burn marks all over. So whatever, you could surmise very easily that whatever hit the Belderock also hit this tunnel. And as you guys continue down, it's a long way down. You guys are so stupid. It was really adorable, though, that you both looked at each other and then looked back at me and smiled. Anyway. Okay, so you guys continue down this hallway, and there's more light. There's more torch light down the way. But this is a very long hallway. You can imagine that it's probably maybe even like a mile long. And you can see, as you guys look from left to right, square pedestals are set into the walls, like on the floor where they meet the wall of the arch. But they're just square stone pedestals, as if they have an intention. And as you continue down, you can see shortly up in the distance, you can see that there are an array of, like, long arrays of statues on either side of the hallway as you get closer and closer to what appears to be a large wooden gate door.
Is it the gate or is it the door?
It's both. Kind of like a
Is it
drawbridge
both? Oh.
kind of thing.
Okay.
So does it downward fold or?
I guess you'll have to find out. But as you approach, you can see the first statue that you approach is a dwarf that it has this, like, he's been carved out of stone. He has a long mustache, a medium-length beard, and his mustache is very, very long, much longer than his beard. He's got these massive pauldrons and kind of a top-knot haircut, where his ponytail is pinched to the top, and even the tail of it kind of flows and is braided in the back. Very ornate. He's got like an array of rings carved into his hands and onto his beard and mustache and hair and everything. A very ornate statue. And you see at the bottom of it is the inscription, Tomar, the beloved Ironfist. And what you would know as the last king of the dwarves, Tomar. And it says 4,543 DR, or Dwarven Reckoning, to 4,561 DR. And it says underneath, the king responsible for connecting the deep roads through the Underdark and establishing mercantile dominance for the Dwarven people, loved by his people and his wife, Griselda. And as you'll remember, Griselda was the last name that was put on that totem. And as you continue down, you can see...
Do you think I'd look good with that hairstyle?
I do. I mean, anything would be an improvement at this point.
And weirdly...
What is so wrong with my...
You guys can see, like, a resemblance of sorts. I mean, maybe to some of you, dwarves might look all alike, but you can see the kind of some similar features in this very, very meticulously and accurately crafted statue.
How
all
did
of
he
them are
do
like
that
this.
with his mustache?
Pinwin, do you think you could fashion something like that on Tomar?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. I think I could do that.
Just imagine.
That'd be fun.
Imagine Pinwin zipping around Tomar and doing like the
Yeah.
I could give him
putting him in
like
frame.
some flower, like
No, I don't want
flower
that shit
mustache.
on my face.
It's
Herstag.
kind of a
No, thanks.
Tomar just slaps her.
him. It looks good.
No, I don't.
You said it looks good.
Are the
It looks
etchings-
good on you. I don't like that kind of stuff.
Are the etchings on
you
the
don't
statue?
like flowers.
I'm not a fan for some reason.
They smell good. They're pretty.
I always sneeze when I go into the woods. I'm not a big fan.
Oh,
Might be pollen or something.
What were you asking, Willem?
I'm assuming the etchings are in Dwarvish.
Yes, but as you have the translating stone with you, it translates for you, so you can all read this.
Okay, so we're aware this is Tomar's namesake and
Yep.
father.
Mhm.
Okay.
And yeah, And then next to him is Gimmelin Rune
Not
Rune
father,
Cloak.
sorry. I didn't mean.
Nope, not
Great grandpappy.
Yeah.
So the year, you would probably know this, Tomar, but the Dwarven Reckoning stopped with the destruction of Wyr Karag. So the last year of the Dwarven Reckoning was 4,561. He was the king when Wyr Karag was whatever happened to all the dwarves when they were scattered and when that big catastrophe happened. And you would know that was 1,520 years ago. So in Dwarven Reckoning, if anyone was still keeping track of it, that would be the year 6,081. So it's been over 1,500 years since the last king of the dwarves. And you see next to that statue of Tomar Ironfist is the statue of Gimmelin Runecloak, also called the Gelded. And he was the king right before Tomar. And the inscription says, one of the most powerful dwarven sorcerers to ever walk the planet, famously lost his testicles in a magical accident and could not sire children. So he adopted 40 orphans and raised them to be as skilled as he in the arcane arts.
What was he trying to do?
Nobody knows.
I love gold. It was lost in a smelting
I'm gonna
accident.
cast enlarge on my dick.
And as you guys continue down, you see Balam Drakebreaker, Ulheim Dragon Shoulder, Cabal Copperbell.
What does it say about him?
It just says the Quiet King.
Oh.
Not much is known about his reign. It was during the shortly after during the war. He
Famous
was
for being a big tease.
You see Bruthabel Sapphire Granite, the Woman King, the one who famously disguised herself as a man. And
couldn't
they don't have
thought
a
of
word. They don't have the word queen in their lexicon.
it was because she disguised herself as a man, and even she took several wives and had children somehow. And it wasn't until after her death when they discovered that she was actually a woman.
I appreciate her commitment.
Then you see Auric Hornmane, and then you see this pretty strongly, Tomar, like it stands out.
It's
you see Romar's namesake, and it's Romar Brightsunder, also known as Romar the Rogue. He was the one who abandoned his throne to pursue adventure and never returned. He was only king for like 26 years. You see Thrakic Stormhide as you get closer and closer.
So they kept his statue?
They kept his statue, but you can see that it's been cleaved down the middle.
Ooh.
And you can see it was left as an epitaph almost, the inscription underneath, and it said, Thrakic the Wicked, the king who doomed the dwarves, opening the deep roads and began the war of the dark place. And then finally, as you get right up to the door, you've passed like probably 100 statues, and these are the ones that stand out. But you see the most premier statue, the largest, right next to the door, a massive dwarf with a conical helm with horns coming out of it, much larger than the dwarves typically of his time, drawing a sword and with an angry, like screaming face as if he's entering combat. And underneath that, you see the name Hirstag the Heroic, first king of the dwarves.
Whoa.
And the inscription underneath is the forger of the dwarven alliances who brought all of the clans together into one city, husband of Elphaba Elvenheart.
Whoa.
Weird. I don't remember hearing about this guy.
He's got my name.
And
Give it back. Yes, Hirstag, he does.
and Elphaba is his wife, which is interesting because we know an Elphaba.
Interesting
That
coincidence.
is unfreaking canny.
Right?
Weren't you trying to ask her out?
Now, does that give you hope?
I mean, you might be able to use this story as like some ammunition.
I
As it
can't
were.
understand what she's saying. I don't know how to talk to her.
Well, they say history repeats itself, so just keep talking and maybe something will happen.
There must be some way to
You know,
fix what's afflicting her.
you don't even have to hear her, technically. Just use the line that I told you to use. You know,
Or you could
I
learn
hear
it.
ya. Live.
I
Don't
feel
tell
like
him to
that'd be-
lie.
Wouldn't that be like offensive.
You know what, Hirstag? Don't
Only
take
if she
relationship
finds out.
advice from any of us. None of us are good at it.
I mean, you could
Well, I
learn, like, she signals with her hands what she's saying. You could learn that and then talk with her that way. Just an idea. Spitballing. Like, talk to her that
You
way
should
she
just
talks.
take her to do something that you're good at. Then she'll be impressed by you.
That's a good idea.
Something impossible to fail.
Or make her flowers.
Make her flowers, yeah.
Ooh, yeah, make a. I can give you the headband back.
What if she's allergic?
No, I can do that anytime.
Not everybody is as weak as you.
It's not
Whoa. Arrows fired.
You too.
Well, That's
Shot
really
across
cool.
the bow.
I
Before we go in here,
I never asked my dad where he got the name Hirstag.
How old are satyrs? Like, how old do they live?
I don't know. The Feywild is a really weird place.
It's wild.
I mean, I don't know technically if they're even like they work differently than humans and dwarves and things. They're very magical. I imagine they could live for a really long time.
Well, when we find him, we can ask him.
Okay, so you guys are standing in front of this massive door. Spans the entire length of the wall. So it's roughly 100 feet long, 30 feet tall. Right at the end of this hallway.
100 feet long.
Yes.
What is 100 feet
30
long?
feet tall
The
door?
The width.
The width of the door.
Yeah, the
Mhm.
width of the tunnel
Mhm.
is like
Wait,
100,
so
100 feet wide, 30 feet tall.
Is it an actual door?
It definitely looks like a door. It
or
looks
is
like
an opening.
there's wood panels in a grid system or grid like covering it. You cannot see through it. It's definitely like very, very similar to, say, a drawbridge of some kind.
Is there like a pulley or anything nearby?
Near the one side of the wall, right by the statue, there is a sconce that in Dwarvish translates to open, which, as you remember, is
Often.
often.
I say that.
It does not open.
This door is bullshit.
Maybe you have to go touch the
It's
sconce.
a sconce. Okay, so
Is it a push or pull
okay,
sconce?
so there's a door directly in front of us. There's
Yes. This is the end of the line.
there's no chasm or anything. It's just right there.
It's right there.
Is this a puzzle? Did you give us a puzzle?
You're always asking that. I've never given you guys puzzles again.
I'm
I will
interacting with the
Druid
sconce.
craft.
I'm just going to touch the sconce thing.
Okay, so you touch it
Interact with it in the way that it feels like it should be interacted with.
and you move it a little bit and it turns to the side and then slowly this slides down.
I solved the puzzle.
I was just gonna light it.
Tomar the Intelligent.
and as
Tamar Ironwit.
as it lowers, you look out into up above as it's slowly lowering. You can see this big empty space in front of you, but the lower it gets, you start seeing all of the detail. It almost seems like bright light because it's been so dark and the torches have been so dimly spaced, but there is a massive, larger than anything you have ever witnessed, massive cavern opening to your eyes right now as the door falls, and you can see off in the distance. First thing you can see is this massive, like conical, almost like stalagmite that seems to be hanging in the center, and this thing is the size of a city. You can see that there are bridges like hovering over it, made out of stone, that connect to it from far off in the distance beyond your spectrum of vision. And as it finally lowers, you can see that there is a bridge pathway that leads out and then up. And there are various satellite little almost structures, some seemingly hanging on long, thick iron chains and almost like cables. And you can see that this is very much the area of Wyr Karag. Miles deep and long. This hanging, like I said, is like the size of a city itself, and you can see little like openings and holes everywhere, as if at one point, almost like a beehive, you can see that this would have been teeming with life at one time. It is like awe-inspiringly massive, and as it opens up here, you see that pathway that is directly in front of you, on either side, if you were to look down, it's just a bottomless pit, pretty much.
So this is made of stone? What are we
It's like a
looking at?
massive city,
Is
kind
it
of
kind of like
suspended.
Roundfoot Town?
No, this is like okay, let me draw it. Does that make
Wow.
sense?
Okay.
So I tried to explain it like that, but
I think you were explaining it okay, but like my brain was like leaving out some of the words you were saying.
Yeah, mine
well,
was.
that and like conceptually, it's probably easier if it looks like something that you've seen, and this is what was in my head for how it looks. So
It's the inverted mountain from Kingdom Death.
It's a taco Dorito.
basically a massive beehive made of stone and metal, a city, and everything is much more ornate than how I made it look. But
None of the lights are on anywhere?
no, there's no lights on in the city itself, but like off in the distance, you can see lights from somewhere, as if torches were left on, or maybe mage lights.
I wonder if Romar was already here, if he lit anything, because there's lights in here.
So, what am I looking at, Tomar? Is this the forge? This is it?
I feel like the forge is in there, inside that big stone thing.
That big stone turd.
I wonder if the holes are to let steam escape or something.
The whole thing is kind of a forge, but the actual forging takes place inside somewhere there.
This looks crazy.
It's
I'm gonna
not
look-
how I pictured it.
You
I'm
think
gonna look off
you
the
think your
side
brother-
of the bridge.
Sorry.
Um,
You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna look off the side of the bridge. What does it look like?
It's all the way down. It is just like a bottomless pit, an empty, dark, black chasm.
Okay, that's all.
You think your brother Romar was already here?
Well, I saw him in my dream, walking through the halls towards the Belderock, but
I mean, it feels like nobody's been here.
yeah, but there's also light. Like, who would have lit the lights? We saw
So-
lights on the way here, too.
Well,
So
they
if
could be
Romar-
magical.
If Romar were to come here before us and not light the Soul Forge, why would he be lighting other lights around here? Do we need
Maybe-
to be concerned about that squirrely bastard?
I don't know.
Like, what
The
what would
last-
the point of him being here?
The last
Be-
time I saw
Yeah,
him,
no idea.
he made it seem like he'd kind of come around and didn't hold as much of a grudge.
Yeah, but you were telling me he was, like, essentially disowning himself from the family. Like, he was doing something that would probably bring us shame for the Ironfist, now that I think about it. Like, I don't know what his goal is, but I saw him in the vision. There's a reason why I saw him there.
Yeah. But, I mean, he didn't seem to harbor any ill will towards you specifically.
I don't think he ever did. And I don't think he thought that way towards any of us. Like,
But I don't. Lately, with him, I just don't think that maybe he doesn't harbor any ill will, but he doesn't really value us that much.
he's got some game going. I don't know what his game is, but he also let us go before.
He helped us fight Calcifer in Starhost.
And he let us go in Deepminster. But he said the next time our paths cross, we might be enemies. I don't want to worry about him right now. He might be here, for all I know. And he might have lit those places because we're supposed to go to those places. I don't know.
So he might be lying in wait with his...
Oogie Boogie mask.
Yeah, and his buddies from the Inquisition.
I mean, do we really have to be that afraid of Romar, though? He's like 4 foot nothing.
I mean, you saw him fight Smoozog. That was not an easy battle.
Well, I think we all have ways of getting rid of him, if you're, like, cool with it.
If we know it's Romar, you're not disintegrating him. Okay? Not like last time.
It wasn't him.
It's a conversation that we do
By
need to have.
happenstance.
Okay, well,
If
you know
he's
what?
between us and the Soul Forge,
I think we have the ability to subdue him if we
non-lethal. We're going non-lethal.
can. Non-lethal, preferably.
If it comes
take him out.
to it, though,
You know, Tomar, just pick a side. Sometimes you're dark Tomar, sometimes you're sensitive Tomar. I need to know.
sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't.
I'm Tamar, who wants to keep all of my family safe.
That's fair.
And
But what about us?
What
if
about
you're my
harming
family
us?
too. I'm saying goal is to subdue.
What about the rest of his? What about his flunkies?
I don't care about his flunkies.
All right, we're on the same page.
Okay.
Go ham on
Well,
them.
Rum ham.
Are we ready to proceed?
I say we go into the big honeycomb first.
Well,
and then,
we're gonna have to pass through this building here first, so
Well, we can definitely
I would say
check it out on the way.
I would say be prepared for anything.
Because the honey.
Willem has his bow and
Like a shotgun.
a shotgun shell comes out of the bow somehow
I'll
from
just
somewhere.
cock my staff.
Why do you guys keep doing that?
Oh.
It sounds super fucking cool, though. I get out my wolf blood blade.
I'll crack my neck.
He dies.
Right.
Shit.
I'll do the same with my bow.
Let's go.
All right, so you guys
Take the
proceed. This little bridge catwalk type thing
Oh, the catwalk.
is about 200 feet in length before you get to that building, and it has a mild arch over it. And as you guys walk, you start to feel the wind in this place. And you can almost feel as though you can hear a soft voice on the wind.
You sound like the other voice.
A little bit, but faint. You're not sure
What's
if
it
you're
saying?
actually hearing it or if it's just the wind. It kind of sounds like Tomar and Hirstag.
Hey, Tomar,
What?
does Romar have a soft, whispery voice?
No.
I don't think that's
Why is there a wind in here?
I mean, it's a big cavernous place.
Oh, we don't even
Where
know
do you think
what's
wind
down
comes
there.
from, Tomar? It's like
As we're walking
It's
across,
inside.
are we
Been
able
in
to
a cave
see?
before?
Are we able to look up now and see like if there's any openings up above us or where the
Any wind holes?
stalactite beehive thing ends
So
or connects? I guess.
So yeah, as you look up now that you're outside of the archway and over this suspended bridge, you look at the top of what appeared to be like kind of a beehive, and you can see these massive, like, and I'm talking like hundreds and hundreds of feet thick chains that are holding this suspended above here that go off into the darkness. Even with your dark vision, they kind of disappear. You can't actually see the ceiling of this cavern. But you can see these chains holding it up. And it looks as though at the very top there's like a long spire, that kind of moves up and then disappears into the darkness.
Could this presumably be like a colander that lava flows down into and then shoots out into the pit?
Maybe. It looks more, the openings that you see look more like openings into tunnels, and you can see that built in, now that you're getting closer, you can see around the outside, it's almost as if there are pathways, and ancient buildings look like they're kind of pressed in there. So it's possible, but not for sure.
Okay. Well, we're gonna walk up to that building at least.
Okay. All
What's
right.
up with that?
So you guys walk up to the building, and it's got an open doorway in it, and you step inside, and you find yourself in a decent sized chamber, almost like a waiting chamber, and you can see painted and fading along the kind of the top crest of the wall. I should back up. It's not painted. It's chiseled in. So it's but it's still kind of like old, very very old. You can see that there are depictions of carriages, and the ancient runic dwarven lettering indicates that this is actually where it's something of a wait station for carriages of some kind to take up to the city.
The dwarves were carriage worshippers too.
Fascinating.
Cartleby.
Anyone need anything out of here?
You don't see much in here. There is a what almost appears to be like a bar counter, like as if there was like somewhere to procure drinks here back someday, along one side of the wall.
No alcohol, though?
Not visibly.
I peek behind.
There are several dusty crates inside, and they, if you were to open them, you would see bottles upon bottles of liquid.
It's for Loco.
Ugh, never mind.
I pull a bottle out and look to see if there's like a label on it.
There is no label on it, but it is like a darker liquid in there.
I uncork it.
Are you gonna drink that?
No, I'm just gonna sniff it.
You sniff it, and it smells like very strong grog or ale or some kind of alcohol.
That's gotta be like 1,500 years old.
Can I smell it?
I'll try it.
I don't know if you should
Why
drink
would you
that.
drink it?
I want to try it.
You want to try it?
The alcohol might have gone like bad and
If he doesn't die, I will drink some.
Alcohol gets better with age, Tomar.
not all of
Everyone
it.
knows that.
So you're going to take a swig?
Yeah.
All right. Hirstag, you take a swig. Give me a constitution save.
you are dead.
25.
25. All right. This is incredibly strong. It's some kind of grog, and even with such a good con save, with as good of a metabolism as you had in that moment, you're still feeling just slightly buzzed
Whoa.
Okay, maybe not for drinking,
from one swig.
but I am
Oh,
thinking
that's-
if the goal is to light something this big, we might need a little help. And I
It's
hold the bottle up
very potent.
suggestively.
I mean, I guess.
Very, very potent.
Could we take one to drink later, though?
I want
Because-
to take one.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do that.
I'm going to take a bottle.
Okay. Anybody else do anything?
I grab a couple bottles for fire lighting purposes.
Yeah.
Okay. Stuff them into your pack.
Wyr Karag cocktails.
How big are they?
The bottles are about maybe 8 inches tall. Pretty round though.
Pretty round.
Mm-hmm. Got jugs.
Okay. Do they have like a little loop?
Yep.
Little hook I could
Mhm.
just kind of hook a finger through?
Yep.
All right. I'll just kind of snag one, kind of throw it over my shoulder.
Okay.
Carry.
Gotcha. All right.
I'll help with making cocktails.
You guys gonna make cocktails right now?
I wasn't thinking of making cocktails.
Oh, just
I'm
getting
not
ready.
trying to explode things in the Soul Forge. I'm thinking
Yeah.
like lighter fluid style.
Gotcha. Well, it's definitely potent. So, you guys see that the there's a massive iron gate on the other side of the wall leading to the pathway outside. But as you guys look, you're now seeing that the pathway that leads up at a very stiff arc.
Okay.
Well, that's
Very,
gonna
very
be
steep.
hard on the calves.
Think you can make it up there, Tomar?
I just float up there in my armor and glare at her
Well, there's a gate you have to open.
after I open the gate.
Okay, so you push the gate open, and immediately you look to your left, and you can see that there's some sort of contraption sitting there. It looks like
An escalator.
it looks kind of like a carriage of sorts, but it has these spiderish legs that are folded underneath it. Very thin, tendrily legs. It seems to be made out of metal, and it's quite spacious. It's about the size of a nobleman's cart.
This reminds me of that machine the gnomes and I made back in Roundfoot Town.
Yeah, you're right. It kind of does.
Ride this thing?
Probably. That's probably what they were waiting for. I don't know if it still works.
How would you even turn it on?
Is there like a button or a lever or a
A
switch?
sconce that
crank?
says
There,
I clap.
A bird.
so as you inspect the inside, the you can see like right in the front is a handprint a recessed hand space, and underneath that is a little stone that is like almost black in color.
Are we still at the bottom of like the steep
Yep.
incline?
You're just on the other
I
side.
don't
of it.
have anything like that, do I?
No.
I put my hand in it.
Nothing happens.
Put my hand in it.
Oh, I get it because I'm a woman.
The stone starts to light up as if there's something swirling inside of it, and it's like a pleasant green color now. And you just hear like, and it's almost as if that green starts to slowly spill over the rest of the contraption, and it like gets up, and the legs are about 6 feet long each, and stand up and kind of move around a little bit, and it's kind of got this green aura all over, and it very jerkily goes to face you guys, and then drops the front two legs down, and this little set of stairs pops down.
Oh,
Neat.
all right.
You guys want to ride in there?
Yeah.
Of course. That is awesome.
I have a bit of pause, but I also don't want to have to climb that steep bridge. So
Likewise.
I'm hopping on.
let's do it.
I'll run up the stairs with Shadow.
Okay, so you guys get in. Everyone else is getting in.
Seems to
Okay.
be the preferred use of travel, I guess, in here.
So the minute you guys sit down, the contraption waits a little bit, and you can see Tomar, since you're sitting in the front, the handprint is kind of like glowing a little bit.
I touch it.
And you feel kind of almost like a suction for a second. And then a dome of that same green magical energy forms over you guys. And this machine seems to stand up straight again and goes right to the edge of the bridge. And you guys hear,
Welcome to the carriage service.
it's in Dwarvish, but it's translating in a very announcery type voice, very gregarious.
I am assuming that there are 6 passengers. Is that correct?
+1 wolf.
All right, 7 passengers. All right, everyone, we're going to be entering the city of Wyr Karag, so keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. We are going north, due north, way, way north.
And then all of a sudden, it starts climbing up this
Whoa.
super steep bridge very, very quickly. You think it might take at least a few minutes to, maybe as many as 20 to climb. So in the meantime, you guys are inside this little cab here.
Would this count as a short rest being in here?
No.
Well,
You've pretty much been on a short rest the entire time you've been walking, so if it reaches an hour, then you're, as long as you're not doing anything strenuous.
okay.
This is awesome.
Yeah, it is. I'm like a little kid, like.
Yeah,
with
you
their
realize
hands
if
up on the
if you
green
touch
thing a little
touch
bit.
the green, it feels like it feels about as hard as stone, but you can
Okay.
see through it completely, and you guys can see as you're ascending up this bridge, you can see way far down. You can see even more bridges up above, all entering the same central hub.
Are there like seats or
Yeah,
anything?
yeah,
on
you guys
here?
are kind of in little seats.
Okay, are there handlebars or some sort of
Yeah, there's like little pegs coming out that
Okay.
someone might be able to hold on to.
Willem is sitting and like white knuckling the seat, not saying anything.
Okay.
I didn't realize how long this path was until we got in here.
Okay, something doesn't make sense to me here. If this was put in place by people who come here all the time and work and live here, why would they have an announcer welcoming you?
What do you mean?
Like the voice in here.
I mean, what is weird about that to you?
If you're going to work every day, it would be weird to get into your carriage and hear someone announcing that you're going to work every day.
Well, they weren't necessarily working at the forge. It's kind of like a place you go to pray, and big events would happen there. Like, nobody worked in there. They would work in the mines down below in the other cities.
Something seems weird to me.
Okay. Well, I think it's cool. What do you think, Hirstag?
I still think it's cool.
I like it. I don't know. I mean, the voice is kind of creepy, but I like this a lot.
And Pinwin Shadow's face is pressed up against it, just like yours. Like,
This technology is like on par with what I saw the gnomes capable of.
Yeah, it's
That sentence
really
was
cool.
weird.
Maybe the gnomes were working with the ancient dwarves or something.
the distinction you definitely notice is that while the gnomes tinkered and made all that stuff work with their own abilities, this seems very much propelled by magical means. But yeah, there is a lot of similarity between
Gnomes
the
much
structure.
more mechanical,
Mhm.
dwarves much more magical.
Yeah.
How you feeling, Willem?
Mm.
I don't think he likes it. Psycho?
It's a bit weird, but it's kind of neat, I guess.
He's sitting in the middle between Pinwin on one side and Willem on the other. He's just kind of like almost as if he's squished a bit. He's just,
But I guess otherwise I've been in worse situations.
I'm basically Dr. Grant in the helicopter, like trying to put the seatbelts on, or on the ride when the bar comes down and something just like.
Can I move around in here?
a little bit. There's not a ton of room, but there's definitely some movement room.
Am I sitting like up front?
Yeah, you're sitting up front.
Are there any other controls in there?
Not that you can see. It seems like a one-track kind of thing.
Okay.
As you guys travel, you hear,
Well, where are all you travelers from?
Your mother's house.
Moonreach?
Never heard of it. Must be very far away. Well, thanks for visiting, and I hope you enjoy this short jaunt up into the city of Wyr Karag.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Were they just letting anybody up here?
Well, they had to be through the city. Like, there's only the one way to get here as far as we know.
I didn't think this was like a tourist trap.
Hey, announcer guy. Disembodied voice. What is this like a tourist type thing? Is this like a tour bus or something?
Not exactly. I was designed to safely carry people up into the city of Wyr Karag, but I was given new diagnostics as a very recent. Not so recently. I'm realizing now that was a long, long time ago, but we were expecting much more trade. In fact, we are expecting very much soon to host the arrival of Veldelin, the famous liberator and conqueror.
Oh.
I look at Tomar. Ask him. Ask him if he knows what happened in the city with all the burn marks.
Do you know what happened to the Forge and the Belderock?
No, unfortunately I don't. I am just as baffled as you all seem to be. I am just a simple, humble carriage designed to carry you up to the city of Wyr Karag.
Who constructed you?
I was designed by some of the finest in dwarven crafters. I was designed expressly for the purpose of taking people up to the city of Wyr Karag.
Hey, carriage, what's your name?
I do not have a name. I am just a carriage.
That's stupid, Pinwin.
I mean, person I've never met.
When was the last time you were used?
1,563 years ago, by dwarven reckoning. So I apologize if the ride's a little bumpy. I'm just getting my sea legs back. Oh, just kidding.
It's got a weird sense of humor.
Yeah, that doesn't seem typical of dwarves.
It doesn't, but if it was designed to specifically appeal to outsiders, then
Is that what they think we find funny?
maybe. But Veldelin was a half-elf, so they might think half-elves are goofy or something.
I mean, they're not funny.
I look at Willem awkwardly and back at Gorbel. I mean, Willem's kind of funny sometimes.
Thanks.
Yeah, we had lots of laughs
I
on the mountain.
shrug.
You guys are almost all the way up now. I don't know if you guys want to talk to it all anymore, but if you don't, then we'll just kind of fast track you.
Who was the last person to ride you?
My sources indicate that it was a diplomat from Valen himself, 1,559 years ago.
Do you have a name? The passenger. The diplomat.
I believe it is someone who goes by the name of Graf.
Chart. Graph Chart was his name.
A diplomat for Veldenlin named Graf.
What part of Veldlin?
I do not know.
Okay, so you guys arrive up at this little, like, gate, basically, like a terminal in a sense, and the two legs go down and the stairs come out and the magical barrier goes away.
I hope you've enjoyed your ride, and please tell your friends.
Thank you. How do we get back?
I'll wait right here.
Thank you.
Thanks. That was my question too.
Thanks, Cart.
You're quite welcome. Have a wonderful trip.
I can't. I'm like not moving.
I peel Willem's hands off the grasps.
Willem, let's go.
Are you afraid of heights, man?
It's really
You were
ironic
riding all
because
those
you
airships.
have to climb on top of the ceiling.
Just don't like this.
Machines.
This is.
I mean, it was going kind of like
This is all very.
All right, guys.
slow
All right.
scenery.
Everybody,
Pretty.
we gotta get in a team mood. We're going in here. Just everyone get on the same page. We don't know what's gonna be in here, so
If someone dies, who do we talk to?
what do you mean?
You.
Like,
You take our finger, and then make us. Well,
Not dead.
Okay, are we off the? We're off the mechanism.
Yeah.
We're off. Hirstag, if I die, do not fucking bring me back.
why?
sure.
Don't do it.
Why?
Well, and that's silly.
No.
It's also kind of morbid. That's
Not bringing me back from the dead is
you just
not
wanting,
morbid.
No, we.
I mean,
Okay,
I'll
all
respect
right.
his wishes.
Also, I saw what happened to Let when he got brought back. I don't need that kind of life.
I mean,
that's-
he's
He's
alive.
a really good-looking, strong dwarf now.
He's alive. He's just a bit more dwarfy.
He even
that's
talks
all.
the same.
You'd rather just be dead for.
Than be
Yes.
like us.
I'd rather be dead if I die than come back from being dead. Yes.
Please bring me back.
I
have
respect
to
that.
finish my
Thank
list.
you. I have a do not
Okay.
resuscitate
And visit
order.
my family.
I respect it.
You'll get what you get.
I mean, well, you'll be dead. You'll have no say in how we treat your body or
And if
anything.
you hate it
Well-
so much, we can just die again. Like,
Just so
Yeah.
you guys
If
know,
you are my friends, you will respect these wishes.
resurrection doesn't automatically work, okay? So, if the spirit is not willing to come back, he doesn't have to come back.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't work if you don't use it at all.
Yeah. So
Well-
if I did use it on him, it'd be wasted components.
I mean, if the alternative is you getting sucked into the ethereal plane, then you'll definitely not want to be there. I'll just tell you that right now. I mean, I don't.
Willem
kn-
scribbling on a piece of paper as he's saying this.
I don't know where half elves go when they die, but I definitely saw some of them in the ethereal plane. I'm just saying that place sucks.
He pins the piece of paper that he was scribbling on to the front of his
like leather armor.
tunic. Yeah. And it says, "Do not revivify."
The spell is reincarnate.
So we're totally gonna revive him if he dies.
We'll just have to find someone who can revivify.
And then tell them don't do it.
I scribble an asterisk on in front of revivify.
Say
all right.
Say everyone.
This might not be the
say
best
it goes
time.
horribly. Everyone dies except me. Who do I tell?
What do you mean?
What?
Go back to Wolves Rest. Tell the
Just
city.
tell them.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, just join us, right?
In my family.
Well, I got stuff to do.
Clearly.
They know your family members and stuff like that.
All my family's dead.
Yeah, we don't really have a lot of living relatives.
I mean, I have living relatives.
You could-
Please let them know I'm dead.
You could definitely
I
tell
will.
Hazel.
Okay, who do I talk to?
Why are you doing this
Maybe
right now?
Durant?
Hirstag?
Because this is a
Yeah,
real,
Durant.
This is the main,
Yeah,
you know.
We should have had
Okay.
these rules
Dury's
written
been there.
already.
Well, I just
Adventures
thought of it.
ago.
It's just
I like that
popping
you
in.
guys think that this is when we're probably going to die, not any
No.
of the other times.
I mean, this is
I'd
a
like it to be known that I
massive-
did say update your wills before we entered the tunnel.
you did, and I feel like then I'm the only person who did that. I flash a piece of paper in my pocket. I mean,
It's just a picture of Jennifer.
And I gave mine to her, and she also has a scroll that has my seal on it.
I haven't looked inside, and I'm afraid to.
That's okay. Don't break the seal.
I definitely won't.
I don't know, just with all the wind and the spookiness and the voice, the cart with the voice, like, I don't know. I'm just getting weird vibes here.
Maybe it's just gonna be really cool.
Let's find out.
It might
Let's
be.
go in. Let's stop talking about this.
Let's go.
If I die, you can bring me back as a dwarf or half-orc.
Ooh.
What if you... Because I can't decide that.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just.
I mean,
I wouldn't mind
try.
being a dwarf.
I'll work on it.
Thanks, man.
Comes
Yeah.
back as a murloc.
And you're a human right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you really have to ask?
He asks
Have you never seen
inquisitively.
humans before?
I mean, I've seen humans.
Let's go in, okay?
They vary in
Let's go in.
appearance.
Okay, so you guys approach this like terminal in a sense, this big, huge stone building, and you can see now that you're up here, you can see that there are many like roads and buildings on the outside of this, as if perhaps people stayed here at times for some reason. You don't remember necessarily that anyone living here as a permanent resident, Tomar. But it is kind of like you said, perhaps, during some sort of event.
So maybe my history is bad, but why was Veldalin supposed to be coming here?
I don't know. I didn't know anything about that. And it's kind of weird that his diplomat was one of the last people that came here.
Yeah. That's odd.
Oh. I hadn't even considered it.
Do we know what happened, how Veldalin himself met his end?
No. Nobody knows. He disappeared.
Oh, that's not good at all. Little sneaky,
Rapscallion.
fucking weaselly ass diplomat stabbing people in the back when he was
So-
trying to come here and probably unite people and goodwill, and somebody had a back alley deal. Motherfuckers, I'm filling in a lot of blanks right now.
So
My
it looks
paranoia.
like things shut down around here pretty suddenly,
Yes.
and things seem pretty well preserved.
Yes.
I mean,
Things that weren't scorched.
that cheeseburger is half eaten.
But I think maybe we should keep our eyes open for any kind of clue as to why this happened.
Yes.
It'd help to know who Graf was.
Maybe we'll find out someday.
Yeah.
If we come up across, if we come across one of these other machines, maybe they'll know because they're further in. Who knows?
Maybe.
Let's
Possibly.
Let's get in here.
Let's do
Okay.
it.
As you guys approach the big iron gate for the terminal, it slides open. And there's a long hallway.
It's like IV.
Yeah. How does it slide? Does it slide vertically up, down?
No, horizontally.
Horizontal.
One big smooth pane.
From left to right.
Yep,
Or
left to right.
Not that it matters, but
And
So-
a very ornate hallway with beautiful marble.
It only recognizes dwarves, so it closes in on the other people.
cuts me right in half.
And there's a beautifully ornate hallway crafted in marble and untouched by scorching or any sort of destruction.
What is this? It's weird.
Is it
And the hallway just kind of curves upwards.
Is it dark in here?
It's dark, but you have dark vision, so it's dim for you guys.
How
Dusty?
Little dusty, yeah. Pretty dusty.
Like
Watch out with
hasn't
your
seen a lot of
allergies.
action.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
So is it like a smooth tunnel?
Yeah, very smooth. A very beautiful, smooth hallway.
And
Do you
how
see any like remains?
Nope. Nothing. It's just like you can see like crafted pillars with kind of like the spiral design on the top as you go in intermittent sections as it kind of climbs up.
how large is the hallway?
It's about 30 feet tall, about 30 feet wide.
Circular or square?
Kind of a soft square, like
Square. Okay.
no rounded edges. basically.
Rounded edges. Gotcha. Okay.
Let's do this. I want to know what's
All
here.
right, we're going up.
And as you guys climb up, you take a few minutes, climb up to the top. You reach the end of this hallway. There's another iron door. And as you approach it, slides open. And there's a beautiful room inside. Much like the hallway, marble, but in the center, there is a pit that is kind of raised. And there's a roaring fire going. The whole room is bathed in light. And at the back of the room, you can see that there is a crystalline structure. And it looks like there's two long objects hanging out of the crystalline structure, but it's hard to see because it's so far back.
I go towards it.
All right, as you enter the room, you can see that the way that the flames are kind of dancing, it was in like kind of the shadowy corner. But as you approach, you can see this crystalline structure looks as though it is like magically constructed. It's a pale blue color, jagged in pretty much every direction. And those two long objects that were hanging out look like two arms. And they have their palms up and open.
Supinated.
Do they look like actual living things' arms, or
Yeah.
they're just made? Okay.
They look like they're coming out from inside the crystalline structure, but you can't see really inside.
What do the arms look like?
They look humanoid. They're wrapped in. They look like they're part of. They have like leather sleeves and gloves on.
So it
5
looks like
fingers?
something was encased in this.
Correct. Yes.
We can't see through the crystalline structure at all.
Mm-mm.
That makes me uncomfortable.
That's a little weird. Does it look like? Is this structure in like a random spot?
Yeah, kind of stuck against the wall.
It doesn't look like it's supposed to be there. Like it wasn't an artistic design choice.
I mean, it could have been. It could have been.
Are the arms fresh?
They don't look ravaged by time. It's hard to tell. They're under leather and gloves.
I'm gonna walk up.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna touch one of
I'm
the
gonna
hands,
take
guys.
the glove off.
Okay. And a red hand with kind of clawed fingernails is underneath.
Oh,
The skin is red. Kind of a little bit rough.
Orangish.
Yeah, reddish, orangish.
Like a tiefling hand, or
Yeah. Something like something.
How
Oh, I thought she was
I'm gonna
do something.
touch the top of the hand,
Okay.
like the opposite of the palm.
Okay.
And
So the back of the hand.
yeah, just kind of feel if it's warm, if it's cold.
It seems cold.
Texture is like it's just cold.
Yeah, cold and like maybe dead, but definitely doesn't look rotted.
I'm gonna hold the hand.
Nothing happens. But Willem, you hear a whisper in your ear.
Hey. I think you got my sword.
Does anybody else hear that?
No one else hears anything.
What?
Hear what?
I look at my side at the sword hanging on my belt.
Lewin's sword hangs from your belt.
Yeah, that one. Put it in my hands.
So kind of like you guys were hearing your names being called. Something's telling me to put Lewin's sword in those hands?
No.
I mean,
That's weird.
it'd be interesting. I mean,
I'll try and communicate. I think really hard.
think why?
Who are you?
I can show you. Just put my sword in my hands.
I'd rather you tell rather than show.
I can show you, but I'm not really here. You know what that sword does, right?
Well, it stabs things.
It does stab things, but it also holds memories.
Really?
Yes,
Your memory?
my memory.
Do you mind elaborating?
I want to show you all something. You're here for the Soul Forge, right?
That's right.
You're here for a purpose.
And what is your name?
My name's Graf.
Guys, he says he's Graf.
Okay. We'll give him the sword.
Don't give him the sword. Why would you give him the sword?
Give him the stick.
We wanna-
give him the stick.
We want to know who he is.
I mean,
he was the last one to come up
He
here.
looks
Do
pretty
it.
dead. If you touch the
Do
hand,
it.
it feels.
He's
like
saying-
dead.
What if that brings him back to life and lets him out of this
Maybe
structure?
it'll help
He
us.
might be in here for a reason.
He might be good.
He says Lewin's sword holds
Maybe we should-
memories.
Talk to him a little bit more.
Memories.
Willem, did you ever cast Identify on that thing?
I never really thought to.
Maybe he's full of shit.
Exactly.
Or telling the truth. I want to know what happened.
The group is split 50-50.
Ask him another
Rock, paper,
question.
scissors.
Psycho, what do you think?
Well, I guess it depends. He's in. If those are his arms, he's in that crystal. But if it breaks him out of his crystal, we might have to fight him.
Or friend him.
Or maybe he's nice.
Maybe he is nice.
Well, it's just one guy. I'm not worried about fighting him, but worried about what happens with the sword.
We could just get ready just in case he's not a friend.
And sheathe the sword.
Okay.
And
Okay. Stances.
I start walking up to the hands,
Mm-hmm.
holding the sword. Can you tell us what happened here before we go any further?
I was attacked. I can't say much. I don't have much time left. I've been holding myself here. Allow me to show this to you.
Please don't make me regret this.
That
And
sounds like a manipulation. He's been here for like over 1,000 years, and all of a sudden he's down to the wire.
You can't hear him.
Out
I
of
play-
character.
And I place the sword in the hands.
You guys watch him place the sword in the hands, and suddenly the hands grab the sword, and the hand that grabbed the blade section, blood like kind of starts to pour down and pool
Ew.
on the ground, and then you watch as the blood trail slowly goes underneath the crystalline structure, almost as if it's being sucked in, and you watch as the blue crystalline structure changes like to a rose color, and slowly, in one of the largest sections up above you guys can start to see a scene forming in front of your eyes. And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Shit.
Wow, I wonder what would have happened if I never took Lewin's sword and gave it to you.
It probably would have just been like Hirstag's twig or
Well, yeah.
contingencies.
So there we go. So that was that session. Let's give you guys some experience. You guys are each going to take 2,500 experience today.
Yay! Whoa!
Additionally, for everyone putting up with little backstory lore shit, everybody can have an additional 200. I like to give Tomar his lore that he likes, and I think it fleshes everything out a little bit.
for putting up with world building.
Yeah.
Gross.
Give me something to stab. Fuck.
For you guys is like back and forth interaction, making fun of everybody. Like, what are they gonna say? You guys can each have an additional 50 experience points. Willem for placing the sword in the hands and kind of moving things along. you can have an additional 100 experience points. Tomar, for operating the spider machine, you can have an additional 100 experience points. Gorbel, for inspecting and finding that alcohol, you can have 100 experience points. You can have 25 for tasting the alcohol, Hirstag. Anybody else deserve extra experience?
For making Zyko look really, really handsome.
Yes, you can have 50 experience points for that.
For growing out my bowl cut.
For that little backstory nugget, you can have 50 experience points.
Explaining some of the lore and how it works to Willem
Yeah,
And
that's good.
and Pinwin.
Yeah, you can
Telling Pinwin to write a song about it.
Yeah, you can have 50 each, so 100 experience.
I mean, yeah. All we really did was walk down a hall.
But you did a lot of role playing as well.
Inspiring Hirstag without actually doing anything.
Yeah, you can have 25 for that. That was cute.
Inspiring Tomar
For an
while
actual
actually
inspiration.
doing
Yeah,
something.
you can have 50 for that.
Giving everyone bardic inspiration, even though.
You can have 25 per person.
I don't think any of us used it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's the first time.
But
that's
just
ever
in
happened.
case we could have had to fight something or whatever.
You accidentally used a Phoenix Down on a live party member.
All right, so I think that brings us to tonight's MVPC. That's tonight's most valuable player character. So since we're here, how are we doing this? Are we just going back to the original way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Might as
Let's
well.
just do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So Tomar is 1, Hirstag is 2, Pinwin's 3, Gorbel is 4, and Willem is 5. Now, I'll let you think about it for just a split second. I'll count to 3, and you're going to hold up the finger of the person that you think deserves tonight's MVPC and an additional 500 experience points. All right. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, vote. Okay, so we've got 3 votes for Willem and 2 votes for Tomar. Why did you vote for Tomar, Hirstag?
Just the role play of him, talking about the history of the dwarves, I think is cool. He was like a little tour guide kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Willem, why'd you vote for Tomar?
We're in a very Tomar-centric location, and I think he's been doing a really good job supplementing a lot of the lore that you guys have probably crafted and giving that to us through character interaction and telling us about essentially kind of being our tour guide, which is kind of cool. And
Yeah,
that's really
good.
neat.
Yeah, I agree. That was really good. Tomar, why'd you vote for Willem?
He listened. He expressed interest in what was going on and some of the stuff behind it.
Yeah. Pinwin, why'd you vote for Willem?
I was really excited when he put the sword in the hands because I wanted to know what would happen.
Facilitating that desire.
Yes.
And Gorbel.
I would say yes, sword hands. But also, it is very, kind of Tomar driven, but I felt like Willem was really encouraging that.
Yeah, kind of facilitating it.
Facilitating it so it was very natural in a role playing way to do that explaining. So
Yeah, you guys had a good rapport there in learning those nuggets of information. So, I guess that means tonight's MVPC is Willem Valtel.
Way to learn, you learny fuck!
You can, in addition to learning, you can learn
Yourself
500
some
experience. And
it's 500, right?
and miscellaneous other thing.
what?
He's ran out of stuff to say.
Yeah, just what I'm saying. Yeah,
He doesn't
you don't
know
get
where he
another
wants
thing.
you to put it.
You motherfucker.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
motherfucker.
You can only say that so many ways.
That's fine.
And shove it up your ding dong. Anyway, that's it.
Or down your ding dong.
Down it, yeah. Because, if it's up, you got to go down. Anyway, so I figured out get MVPC by just stroking other players' egos. And,
The long con.
yeah, it's just sucking that role play, dude.
Well, I think that's it for tonight's episode. Thanks, everyone, for listening. Please subscribe to all of our social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Patreon, and Facebook. Find us on all of those locations. There's a link on our website, www.d20syndicate.com. Thanks to Chad Piper for doing the awesome intro song. Thanks to Adrian Von Ziegler for doing the amazing background music. And thanks to all of you for listening. We really appreciate it, and we love you. We'll see you next week. I am your host and DM, and this has been the D20 Syndicate podcast, where we go on adventures so you don't have to. Goodbye.
Bye. What is wrong with you?
What is happening?
A weird.
I think
We've gotta get her to the hospital
She
right
reverse sneezed into her brain.
Aneurysm.
Yep. Okay, I think I'm good.
You don't sound good.
I'm gonna blow my nose.
Because I do it so often.
It just sounds like mashed potato, like bubbling or
I had
something.
mashed potatoes yesterday. It was awesome.
Nice.
So did I.
Whoa.
Well, that's a problem.
Wait, were you guys hanging out?
No, it was at Galleria de Paco, remember? Yeah.
The cafeteria?
None of us were all hanging out with each other while you weren't around
Hanging
sleeping.
out and eating mashed potatoes without me?
Galleria de Potato.
Again? We're just like, like happily eating potatoes.
Big
Flinging
ol'
across the room at each other. Just covered in burning heaps of mashed potato.
Yeah, there's gravy on it still.
Worth it. These ones are garlic herb.
Oh, there's a chive in my eye.
I chive. Yeah, so you guys want to do it in a
Now,
round?
I was trying to think of which is worse, like for the receiver to be stabbed in the throat or slit in the throat.
I would almost say stab.
Yeah, I feel like slit is a little bit more like.
I don't like
But then you have
surface.
that like separation happening.
I feel
there.
like you would bleed out faster, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's if
Maybe
you're
it would all
pushing
end
in.
faster.
like a poke would
Yeah.
be like a squirt.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
you're pushing it in and it's more like
Well, think
violent.
of
don't want
think
to
of a
be
juice
nice.
box.
Thanks for listening, babies.
If you just punch a hole in a juice box, all the fluid only has that one hole to
Yeah.
get out of. But if you were to slit a juice box, it's a little bit more of an open wound.
Really
You're
messy.
putting-
When you equate a throat to a juice box, it's
The
really
juice
messy.
box would be out of its misery a lot sooner.
It would run out of fluid a lot quicker. Exactly.
That's why I always use scissors on my Capri Sun.
It's the only humane way to go,
I
guys.
use a hammer. Is that not the way? And then there's like a drop of juice.
I just absorb it through my skin.
We started watching Gangs of New York last night.
Nice.
We didn't finish it because Lindsey was tired.
It's a long movie.
But one thing I noticed is that Bill sounds kind of like Larry David. It's way funnier that way, picturing Larry David like on the battlefield. Ah, we're gonna take it out. Come on,
Whoopsie daisy!
whoopsie daisy.
What is it? You don't respect wood?
That's a wound.
And that's another wound! I'm sorry, I was getting a banana!
What do you want from me?
I'm still really low on hit points.
Good. Hope that's
And
a lesson
moral
to you.
fiber, you fucking piece of shit. Sorry.
Just regular fiber. You
You don't poop, you don't poop right.
Constipated no heaven shit.
Constipated no shit having.
Yeah.
Shit.
You old constipated no shit.
You old. My
You
grandma made
old.
my coat ass.
Jamie Lee Curtis, motherfucker activity needing motherfucker.
Steven Seagal haircut having munchkin. It's just
The best
practice
insult.
I've ever. Elijah used to have long hair. He wore in a ponytail, and he was walking to the gas station.
Did he really? At what age?
like
High
16,
school.
17.
Yeah.
He also wore like Gordman shirts with skulls and fire on it.
Elijah, do it again.
That's a baller-ass style. But on the way to the gas station, like these people went out of their way to roll down the car window and just yell, "Look at that Steven Seagal haircut having munchkin." And Elijah came home like all disillusioned. He's like, "Man, God, guess what they said to me?" And I died.
And I died.
Are you,
Elijah, you do that like a straight-up old person. Come on.
why don't you just add them all together?
Yeah, just
Shut up, I'm doing math, damn it!
Just give him full health or something.
I said take the average. Like,
up.
Jesus.
9. It's 9. What?
This is like an old guy
Damn
playing
it, stop
bingo.
it!
Lindsey, he's never going to learn if you do the
Damn
math
it,
for
you were
him.
saying numbers while I'm fucking
It's so
counting.
frustrating.
Why didn't you just take everybody's die and then roll them all at once?
Just take the average.
Okay, I need 30 more HP. I just did 17.
You're going to get 30 more if
Shut
you're doing
up!
all those boxes.
Shut up! Shut up!
This is why we don't roll for hit die, because it's stupid.
8,